The Hohokam Canal Systems. The Hohokam built sophisticated canals that gave them the ability to irrigate thousands of acres of fields. These canals were built using manual labor since the existence of machines had not emerged. The soil was removed by hand by either using a stone hoe or wooden digging stick. These were used to loosen the soil, which was then exported in large baskets. Estimations from the construction of some of the main canal systems suggest that roughly 800,000 cubic meters of soil had been removed. The amount of flowing water from the Salt River largely determined how much labor was to be done on the construction of a canal system. In the colonial and classical periods, frequent flooding often caused runoff of dams that destroyed many of the canals. Many had to be rebuilt or restored over time, some taking many years to complete. One of the more impressive feats by the Hohokam people is the fact they built the canals using their knowledge of the land and the flow of water. This early sophistication enabled them to engineer canals using correct slopes and channel cross-sections, giving them the ability to deliver large amounts of water to the fields. In order to regulate adequate amounts of water flow, they used a headgate or watergate system. Research and archaeological digs have shown that the canal widths at the river headgate were very large and would slowly diminish in size down the canal. Some issues the canals would face were the speeds of water flow. If the water travels too fast, it erodes the sides of the canal. If the water travels too slow, it leaves sediment that can block the canal. Once the canal systems got close to the fields, they used distribution gates to evenly transport the water to smaller canals. The use of distribution gates was key to the success of water delivery to the fields. The construction of the canal systems by the Hohokam were a major reason for the large population in the Salt and Gila River valleys. Without the sophisticated canal systems, they would not be able to support such a large population. The Hohokam were not the first people to populate the Salt and Gila River valleys. Around 0 AD, ancient people began to move in and build structures. We don't know much of these people, but we do know they built small prehistoric canal systems. Flooding by the Gila and Salt River valleys would have easily damaged the canals they built, but the Hohokam thought of ways to protect their canals from floods. Between 600 and 700 AD, the Hohokam people started to design and build large canals to bring higher quantities of water to their fields. Roughly around 700 and 900 AD, they began to build even larger canal systems that would eventually connect the smaller canals together. Large canals were built on both the north and south sides of the Salt River. Some of the canal systems were over 12 miles in length, and the largest canal system discovered was over 20 miles long. It is estimated that over 1,000 miles in canal systems were built between 600 to 1450 AD. The Arizona Museum of Natural History discovered a prehistoric canal that measured 15 feet deep and 45 feet wide. In order to get a steady flow of water to their fields, the size of the canals were very dependent on knowing where to build the canals adjacent to the river and also the lay of the land. They looked for slopes in the land that would drop 1 or 2 feet per mile. In order to get proper flow, this would have taken extensive planning in order to have sufficient water flow to the fields. There were about 16 canal systems that would have had their own headgate. The construction of the canals by the Hohokam were a marvel of engineering that was a major reason for their success. They were able to create a massive system of canals that would help provide water to their fields, thus increasing their agricultural output. This was essential to their livelihoods, as much of their society was based around the canal systems. The Hohokam people were a very sophisticated society living in southern Arizona. The grand canals they built were the largest and greatest system in the Americas for their time. The canals took many years to build, and many people were required to build them. All the work was achieved by hand, which is a great accomplishment due to the lack of modern industrial technologies. The amount of labor hours required to build these would have been colossal. The other major achievement by the Hohokam is the canal systems they built reached over 1,000 miles in length. Unfortunately, the canals were not as well maintained in the later years of the Hohokam, and cascade events eventually led to their downfall. However, one thing is certain of the Hohokam people and their canal systems. Without them, they would not have been able to live, survive, and thrive in the environments of the Gila and Salt River valleys.